time for a Xin Zhao game. This is going to be a beginner's guide to Xin Zhao, so I will explain everything in as much detail as possible. How to play this champion, what to look for, etc. This is going to be a low-rated game, a low elo game, so you guys are aware, because I want to correctly represent the same type of games you might find yourself in. So that is what we are doing here. Now, starting out, you don't need the potion on Xin at all, because you're never really losing any HP on this champion due to your passive restoring health every third hit. So every 3 hits you do, you're gonna get back health from your passive, which is also why you're taking Overheal as your rune instead of Triumph. A lot of people play Triumph on Xin, but Overheal shields you for like 10,000 a game easily. Because of Xin's consistent healing capabilities, it's actually quite good. Now, like lanes or like starting wise, you could do either start really. You can start bot side and get a slightly better leash to make things a bit easier on you potentially. This is a bit spicy. Enemy bot lane is zoning. You can also start top side. Either way, what you want to do is try to place the ward where you can see. You can currently see, right, the ward I have on my red buff here. If that Kindred decides to go for an invade, they will most of the time, say most, like literally like 95% of the time, just run straight to your other buff camp. So the easiest ward you can place if you want to know if you're going to get invaded or not is going to be straight on your other buff camp. You can do this by just at 50 seconds, recall, and then at the end of your recall place the ward on the whatever you want to place it on, and then you can recall for your red trinket like I have done here. And this way you're going to have a nice ward there, so you'll have vision to know if you have to adapt or not. Like let's say the Kindred shows up right now on there and she only has they only have like blue buff, right? Then I will know that their bot side's still up and I can just go for it. Instead of walking here, I'd walk here and kind of counteract it, if that makes sense. Try to with Xin, actually, you have to make sure you use your E and your W before anything else, and then start queuing after. Because your Q lowers the cooldown of your skills by a second every time. So as you can see here, I use both of them, and then every single time here, as you can see, my skill cooldown's lower. This also counts for Xin Zhao Ultimate. So that's a big thing to keep in mind. Your E is just a dash, gives you extra attack speed, does a bit of AoE damage. Your W, as you can see, is a big, long poke that slows. Also, if you hit it from a distance, it puts a mark on the target, and if you use E at that point, will have more range, so you can you have an easier time closing the distance. So that's all things to keep in mind. This Kindred has 13 CS, so she has 12. Something to note about that, Kindred then definitely did 2 buff camps, because she had both red and blue buff. And then they just, yeah, did 1 extra camp like Gromp or Krugs. Kindred is currently walking up, and right now I'm level 3, or she's level 3 against level 4. Kindred got the wrong mark, but they are here, so we just go for it. We just ghost now, because she already flashed. I'm gonna call she, but it's technically a they, because they're 2 entities. No flash on the champ, so we just hit it down and hold your W until you get your knockup off. That is a big one. This guy doesn't have any mana, so we're not gonna look at it anymore. Like, he can't do anything against me, essentially. But yeah, right there, it's important. Try to get the triple Q off before you use your W, so your W is guaranteed to land. And instead of going for this one, I'm going to go for this one and just reset right afterwards, because I want to deny the Kindred mark specifically in that scenario. So first thing we're going to go for is Tiamat here. If you can afford it, amazing. If you cannot afford Tiamat on your first back, you should be able to afford a bunch of longswords. 2 longswords should always be doable. So that'll go straight into your Tiamat right after. This is the first item we will be rushing on Xin Zhao. And Tiamat directly increases your clear speed, which is very, very good as well. Kindred spotted topside. We also, if you ever see anyone on the map, always try to danger ping or ping them out for your teammates. Because especially in lower ratings, it's going to be way more difficult for your teammates to pay attention to CSing and actually also, like, well, paying attention to their minimap, right? Making sure that that is all good. It looks to me like Kindred is going for that scuttle or these things, the Void Grubs, with Set as well as a priority. So simply what I can just do here is I can just go for the Dragon to counter it in this scenario, because Set's gonna have priority. Kindred is already on it and already has done it, so I just have to simply trade for Dragon. Can easily do that in this scenario, so I will. If you see this happen, simply just go for this. And as long as my bot lane doesn't like completely troll me here, it should be free. I do have 2 smart charges. Technically, if you're starting a dragon with 2 smart charges, you can smite up front and then you'll easily have your smite back. So I could have done that. Just hit it down. Keeping the rule of trying to use my skills before I Q. So I get the cooldown on it. Kindred is now gonna probably walk up. There is Kindred. Dashed real quick, so we're just gonna hit. Get the knock up, then we W, and then we auto attack into the Tiamat on it. And so you get the proc pretty much instantly. You always want to try to auto attack. Get used to like auto attacking and then pressing Tiamat. It is an active item, I understand. It can be definitely tricky. But your timing is going to be right after an auto attack. Because that will like get you in the best habits essentially. And then we, after this, like we were initially looking to just clear up potentially again, maybe play for the grubs, but the Kindred instantly went for the grubs, skipping a bunch of camps, so she had just better tempo. And then, yeah, I just go for dragon. You can simply just trade on the other side of the map for an objective, especially if your bot lane has all that like priority that my bot lane had right there, right? It should be pretty good. In this situation, there's nothing to be done here on top side. The enemy bot lane is pushing under the turret, so ideally here I just want to back, purchase this, and just run towards bot side. Because against Kindred, the mark is going to most likely happen on this Scuttlecrab or on my Gromp here as well, which is just a small detail to mention. Specifically against the Kindred, there is the mark. So me running towards bot lane quickly is not only good for the priority, so this gives me a better gank angle, because obviously you see nobody here on top lane, but also the mark spawn on Kindred's side can be denied here potentially by me, which would be very, very nice. So we're just going to instantly move for it. I'm going to prioritize the mark right now, wait for my Caitlyn to go back to lane. I mean, the mark prioritization against Kindred is kind of an important one regardless, but I'm just going to wait for Caitlyn to get back, and then as soon as Caitlyn gets back now, I will just run bot lane, and we'll see if we can do something here. This is warded, so all we do here is we press Ghost. This is why we have it, just nice and distance closing. Try to walk into the melee range as much as you can. Auto attack, just simply auto attack here. There we go. All we do, just walk it in as close as possible. Try not to E too early. There's no need for that. If you E too early, what's going to happen is that you E on top of them, and they will instantly maybe dash or flash away. Azrael has both flash and a dash. But if they have only one, they can either flash or dash instantly. If you hold your E as long as possible, you'll always be able to follow them after they flash or dash, which is the ideal situation for you, right? Now, something to note here objective-wise, the dragon's gonna be 2 minutes 30, and I have the Void Grubs coming up in like 50 seconds, right? So what I can do now is I can just simply clear my camps here and then get to the Void Grubs as soon as they get up. The good thing here is that I have a tempo advantage, camp tempo advantage, because I'm consistently making sure to clear my camps over this Kindred. So my smite should be a higher value, and if I keep both charges, I should be able to get 2 Void Grubs out of that deal, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to smite any of my camps here, even though I'm sitting on 2 charges, because I can abuse that for the Void Grubs in 30 seconds. Kindred's now also spotted bot lane. So that should make that even easier to take. We max W first on this champion.
The warrior spirit is never broken.
There we go, and group them together, and then as you know, like after you use all your other abilities, you then use your Q to lower the cooldowns. Kindred is seen bot lane. The Void Grubs will be spawning in 5 seconds, so I will just be going for those. The Set will not be able to fight me here, because he has the back at the moment. We're just going to group them a bit closer together here. And then everything is on cooldown, so then we start using this. I'll use 1 smite now because I have 2 smites available to me, so I can smite up front, and then I will be able to smite the last one as well. As you can see, that's what I like to do for these. If I can have 2 smites for it, I will. And then, yeah, Kindred is seen bot lane, so we can just quite easily take these. And that's another smite. There we go. Get those down. And because Kindred is seen bot lane, we can check if their topside camps are up. You knew exactly where the enemy was, right? So all you have to do at that moment in time is like, okay, Kindred is bot in this scenario. It's very likely that they're just gonna, like, obviously not have cleared their topside camps in that moment in time. Now, there's a pretty high chance here that Kindred will go for the mark. So I'm actually just gonna take all of it here. Everything here is gonna be taken by me. So I will just deny the Kindred this for, like, the trade for that mark, essentially. Because I'll never be able to defend the mark realistically, right? It's just simply not going to happen. Now what we see here is the set is actually walked up quite a bit. So I should be able to just walk it into this guy. If we ping enough, always try to ping as much as possible. Just lead out with Qs, nothing else. Get the knock up, then we use your... then you use your W after the knock up. Excuse me. It's a bit hard to focus right now. Then you use your W after you get the knock up to get the damage to be guaranteed, and try to, again, only use your E if you have to close distance afterwards. If you can ideally close the distance in the first place, that is what you want to look for. And then simply right there, I use my ult for damage. It does current HP damage, so ideally you'd want to use your ult relatively early if you're going into a fight. Current HP means the higher the target is, the more damage it's going to do, obviously, right? So ideally in those situations, I'd want to use it like that. So in that situation, I try to get some value out of it, and then we play on distance because we want to make sure that that he doesn't kill us, right? Urgot will kill him. Urgot's full HP, nothing to worry about. I just need to make sure I don't die. There we go. Against this team, we're definitely going steel caps, and then we go Sundered next. Now, there's a good chance here Kindred is just going to have this mark. I would imagine, because the mark spawned on my Gromp here. We're still gonna just run down as fast as possible now. We had a lot of gold, so we just want to spend that. Kindred definitely has the mark there, but that's okay. Don't stress about the mark system too much. If you can deny it, that is good. If you cannot deny the marks, it's okay. You know, it's not the end of the world, really. Okay, we just keep walking here. The Kindred is low. We just press the Sweeping Trinket to have vision, to see if there are wards here or not. There is the Kindred. I am pretty confident here. I'm very strong. She should not be able to really do anything against me here. I have 2 charges on my Q right now. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't do anything. It's just Kindred ult down. There we go. He's dead. I did my my W1 auto attack too early there, as you know. Like, obviously you want to use it on your knock-up, and I miscounted. Your Titanic Hydra as an auto attack reset, which is why earlier as well I mentioned that you should use your like auto attacks here. As you can see, insta reset the auto attack. You always want to use your Tiamat after, just after an auto attack. Just get into that habit and you should be good. Alright, right there, I mean, this situation, I land my W on the guy, I can dash towards him, you know. That's why you hold your E. You want to make sure you have your E available to you to be able to dash in situations where you require it. So don't try to use it too early. That is like a big thing right there. As you can see there, auto attack reset makes the knock up, makes getting the knock up very, very nice and easy. Now all we're doing here is we're making sure we just keep clearing at a good pace. So we really want to make sure that we don't leave our camps up for too long. Because this is like the most important thing, really. Like, just getting a good pace in there is very, very good. Let's see. Oh, that's fine. You can use your Titanic reset on the ward as well if you want to. Oh, there's a Kindred here. Okay. I may have slightly trolled myself. As long as the Urgot walks this direction, it should be fine. Get the knock up! And then we W again. I'm gonna ghost here to just run away from this guy. I have all my skills on cooldown right now, so I actually want to make sure I wait. Instant knock up, as you can see. Right there again, I used my Titanic to reset my auto attack. And I made sure to not use my W before I actually get the knock up, so they don't get a chance to flash it or anything like that. Flash it or dash it, and that's all avoided with doing that like last hit in that manner. Pick this up and we go for the reset. Now here we note that our bot side camps are once again respawning, so we want to play towards those if possible. We also note that the mark is here and that the scuttle will be spawning on bot side as well. So we will be looking to like really walk and play towards that right now. We have nothing to gain here from top side, so yeah, it's just a guaranteed walking in this direction situation. Scuttle is not spawning just yet, So we just do this, and again, making sure to use your Titanic as an auto attack reset. Now, blue is relatively safe here, and this scuttle is gonna spawn very soon, as you can see with this marker on the map. So we're just gonna prioritize doing this thing. Now, we're not gonna use any of our skills at the moment, because if Kindred walks up to us, what we can do is we can just Q this thing twice now. And then we have third Q for like a little bit. If Kindred would be like here to show up for it, I would be instantly able to knock her up into a W and get some good damage out of it. Okay, so we see the Kindred, like we see 3 people here. We see Sett top lane as well. We see Kindred doing this over here, right? So we can pretty easily just go for a pretty aggressive move here. That's kind of annoying, actually. Alright, fair enough. You got quite lucky there, actually. God damn it. Let's see if this hits. It did. That was pure luck, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I didn't know where exactly she was gonna recall. I knew that the Seraphine was 1 HP. It was just, like, it just happened to work out quite nicely for me, really. If I'm being honest. We take those. Push out the wave. This is 1 auto attack on turret. And right now, I want to look to go for this dragon, if I can. I don't want to, like, herald that mid turret, obviously, because heralding that mid turret is going to be quite a waste when it's literally 1 HP. Make sure the auto attack reset with your Titanic again. Should have used my W earlier there, because it's a stationary target, so there's no reason to keep it. Try to use it as fast as possible when you're clearing camps, because you want to lower the cooldown. This also, again, counts for your ultimate, so if you use your ultimate in a fight, try to Q as much as possible when clearing your camps after it, because that will make sure that you lower your ult cooldown as fast as you can, to have it up faster, really. Get that down, perfect. And then right here, something to note, this turret and this turret are both worth 700 gold. So what I want to do with this Rift Herald is I want to kill this turret. Because killing this turret is going to give me a colossal amount of money. There is currently nobody to defend it, so I'm just going to go over here. And I am just going to click this thing and click it. Just click it calmly. Don't click too many times. And then we just execute the turret. As you can see, I just gained 700 gold from that, which is extremely big. So if you can use the Rift Herald, this Rift Herald is the highest value on one of those side turrets, if you can use it on one of them. So always try to look for that if you can, because that is big value. Okay, so ranged champion here. I'm gonna... Okay, that was... Okay. In this situation, using your ult can be very defensive, because if anyone that's outside of your ult circle, right, outside of this range, cannot hit you. They have to be in melee range to be able to hit you. And in that situation right there, I didn't know if the enemy team was completely following that Seraphine or not, and the Seraphine had some good damage on me. So I want to use my ult defensively to make sure that I don't take any more damage. If Ezreal would have been there and would have hit me, or if Kindred would have been there and would have hit me, that could have hurt a lot, and that would obviously not be too good. Get those two. The build, pretty much, just go Titanic, go Sundered Sky, and then you can go for the Sterak's, and this is just very consistently strong, really. You can also, if you really need armor penetration, just go for Titanic, Sundered Sky, or into Cleaver, or you can go Titanic into Cleaver as well. Those are all options. I have an entirely, like, in detail explanation of the build for Xin on Patreon as well, if you want to look at that right there. That is out there for you to see. Right here, we want to look at the objective timers a bit, and also, like, kind of our camp timers a bit. Okay, currently there's a fight going on, so we kind of have to rotate for this one real quick. Okay, in that specific situation, I would never really use my W as much to snipe from a big distance, unless I have to close the distance, or if my teammates CC them. Because if my teammates CC them, then obviously I get a free W on it, if that's within range. So any CC from my teammates, like a Zyra Snare or a Malzahar ultimate, those are all things I would want to look for when it comes to, like, using my W for max range, because then I can hit it like this, and then I just close the distance with E pretty much right afterwards. So that would be a very nice option there. 2 minutes on the dragon for that. And clear a bit. Keep a nice consistent pacing in your camps. If you can just, like, consistently do it and try to use the downtime, because currently all of my stuff is down right now, right? This is the moment in time where I'd want to look for, like, a play on Ezreal here, or a kill on Kindred, or anything like that. Okay, here again, try not to use anything too much. You don't need it, and you just simply, after the knock-up, you use your W. You can just walk up to him, you can Q, you can use your Titanic to auto-attack, reset a Q, and just get a knock-up out of it quicker. Is that gonna hit? No, it didn't. Okay. Okay, so set's gonna be here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Q this two times, and then we're gonna walk up to the set, and we're just gonna EQ, knock him in the air, and then instantly W on the target. And there we go. That's how you can prep up a nice Q knock-up, so you can instantly engage a fight with a Q knock-up into a W, making it pretty easy for you to get a good play out of it, right? Even if you can only prep one Q with this item here, you can still do the same thing, because then all you have to do is prep one Q hit on a minion or anything like that, and then you can dash in, auto attack, and then instantly Titanic for the knock-up into a W, which has the same effect, and will get you the same result, pretty much. That's the auto attack reset for that is quite useful, right? So that's really good here. Currently have 3 items, currently have 50 seconds on this. All my camps are currently still down. There will be respawning very soon, but as long as your team is playing forward, like right here, this is playing pretty far forward. My team here is playing pretty far forward. I want to not go for any of my own camps anymore. I want to make sure that I, at this point, go and walk for Kindred's camps and walk forward as much as possible to deny as much as I can. If my team would have been, like, under their turrets here... Oh, let me just... give me 1 second. Oh, that might not be good. Okay, I would not have really been able to close the distance any other way. The dragon's gonna spawn soon, so I don't want to go too over-aggressive. I definitely want to make sure I get the objective. At that, I have an extra smite, so I can use it on red buff. If I didn't have this extra smite, I wouldn't have, because... at that, what you can also do here is Q this, and then you can do this, and then get the knock-up, if that makes sense. So... if I queued this, so I queued anything, can be a plant as well, to get the 1 charge on it, and then I auto-attack in an instant Titanic reset, so I get the knock-up instantly, if that makes sense. So you can use that as well to your advantage to get a nice one out of that. Alright, so at this point, you kind of just need some tanky items, because this is plenty of damage. You can easily opt for, like, a build I kind of like on Xin. If you want to just like have a nice solid consistent one, is I go Jaksho now. I'll get whatever you want to get first is fine. I get Jaksho now because this builds a lot of health, this builds a lot of health, and this builds a lot of health. All of them give a lot of health. This is going to get even more health, I believe, in the future. But this is really nice, strong combination. So at that point, all I really need is resistances, right? So if you're like, you can just go double resist here and get the resistance increase and everything. Quite nice, quite easy. And then you can finish off the build with like a cleaver for even more health, because having the resistances from Jaksho is enough, because you can easily proc the Jaksho consistently on this champion, with the fact that you can use your ult to get a bunch of defensive time out of it. Let's see if they walk towards this. The wolves are up, so I can look to... I'm just going to auto-attack it calmly here first, and then we're going to auto-attack twice. Keep the third stack for a little bit. There's no options here, it seems. Nope, timed out. Lovely. Was able to finish it, though, so that's good. Finish that off as well. We're pretty tanky. I mean, at this point, it's pretty hard for the enemy team to play. Yeah, right there. This also works on turrets, by the way, so you can note, like, it's also an auto-attack reset on turrets. So ideally, what you want to do is, like, you auto-attack Q, and then you Titanic Hydra the turret if you're going to hit it. I'm not sure if we can actually end here, if I'm being honest with you. I have to be a bit respectful of Seth pulling me into melee range and aggroing this. Okay, auto attack Q, Titanic, as you can see, instantly 3 hits. And it seems like that is in fact the end of the game. So that's good. But yeah, that's it for Xin. I hope that helped. And yeah, last 2 items I would have done here is probably Jaksho into a cleaver. It's just a very solid, strong combination. Jaksho amplifies a lot of resist, or like puts a lot of resistances into your kit for 1 item, especially after building 3 HP items before that. And then you can just go cleaver if you need the armor penetration at the end, because that will be quite useful going into the scaling stages of the game. But yeah, with that being said, that is it for Xin Zhao. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to hit the like button below. I upload daily, so be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the endgame stats. Alright, so for the endgame stats here, I ended up doing 15.5k damage, which is a solid amount of damage, you know. It didn't have to be much more than this. Zyra will do a lot. My team just did a general good amount, so it's not too bad. True damage at 973. We have objective damage at 41.8k. Just taking whatever I could, really, with these. Healing done at 14.6. This is a very nice amount of healing. Kindred also has a good amount of healing. Damage taken here at 19.5k. Very good amount as well. Self-mitigated, another 26.2. Obviously have Xin ultimate to mitigate a lot. You'll have a lot of self-mitigated damage with the build I tend to go for with a Jaksho. Very nice, very easy. Jaksho will give a tremendous amount of tank potential as well. Just makes it very consistent, very easy to play this. So yeah. And then gold earned here at 12.6k. Big one of this is obviously the fact that I just get a good score. I got 13 kills, right? That's very good. But the bigger one here is that I have nearly 200 CS. And this is because I made sure to be consistent with my pathing, right? Be consistent with it. Make sure to catch the respawn of your camps as much as possible. And then try to really, clear in an efficient pattern. Trying to play around respawn timers as much as you can to essentially guarantee a solid lead. And as you can see, I just have a massive gold lead. This is due to that reason. And that's how that really happens. For the runes here, lethal tempo for okay uptime. It's fine, really. A big one here, as you can see, Overheal shielded me for 9.5k shielding. That is a colossal amount of shielding. If you take Triumph will heal you for a lot less. It's going to be like 1,000 maybe in this game, if I'm lucky. So it's a big difference. I actually think Overheal is very, very strong on Xin Zhao, so I would definitely recommend. Take the Alacrity for the attack speed. If the enemy team has a lot of CC, you can switch this to the Tenacity instead. And we have Last Stand for the better damage in closer fights. And then Magical Footwear Cosmic Insight is just a very solid combination of things to go for. Yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Bye.